There's a wild Brian back there. I'm so interested to see what all this is about. But I've got some good news, guys. That's right, my tractor's back. Woo! Oh, so exciting. And look, a fully inflated tire, brand new tube, reloaded. We're good to go. And everything, of course, was covered under warranty. We are set, we are ready to go. Only problem, you guys couldn't tell, it's soaked. So I'm not thinking we're gonna be spreading today. The ground's just too saturated. That doesn't mean there's no shortage of work for us to get into today, but we'll see how the day plays out. All right, good deal. This is what we like to see. A beautiful horse stable, just ready to be filled with horses. Honestly, I'm surprised the mats don't look too dirty. Today is a fabulous and beautiful manure day. So we should be expecting the company of the fantastic Gavin. He should be here soon. Let's see how the horses look. Well, good morning to all of you beautiful horses. Yeah, you guys could tell how much rain we got. Everything is just soaked, which is a good thing. In spring, you want things to be soaked. Everything's waking up. If you look at the trees, you guys notice it? They're all in buds. The leaves are starting to push out. Should be another week or so and full-on foliage popping out everywhere. I'll give you a look over top of the donkey's run-in shed. And of course, Buster and Rocky, dry as a bone. We all get that. They stayed inside their run-in shed all night. Looks like the horses are taking full advantage of the fact that the grass is growing. The grass loves the cooler weather with lots of rain. Throw in some sun. Perfect. Get started measuring out for the horses. Of course, we got to get some hay, put some hay inside the barn, and then we are good to go. Well, we have grain in the stalls, and it's no secret. You guys know that we're working on doing something because we're not feeding hay from this hay area anymore. We are grabbing hay from out here where the quad used to be parked, which, as you can see, the quad is where the tractor is parked. All things are kind of disheveled right now. But you might be wondering, hey Joel, what's going on? What's the plans? Well, the entire time that this stable has been in operation, well over 30 years, that has been where we get our hay from. You guys know that we used to primarily use small square bales, and we've made a transition to using large round bales and large square bales. Of course, we started things out slowly, didn't entirely just cut off small square bales because we weren't sure if we would like the transition, and not even including us, if our horses would like the transition. After the testing period with the round bales, and of course, wrapping them outside, which was something that pretty much no one does in the horse industry, at least that we've heard of. It turned out to be a resounding success. Not only were the round bales superior quality, but we also switched things over to using large square bales for inside the barn. Doing exactly what I'm doing, and it's honestly been working out pretty great. Which of course took us to taking our hay mow, which we usually filled with small square bales, and filling them with round bales or large square bales. Which then created the opportunity for an idea to form. Simply put, what if we stored our hay somewhere else in the barn? Since they're easier to maneuver with equipment, that wouldn't be that big of a deal. We were able to feed our hay from the quad area, and we had a different place to store our hay. What could we do with the space? This area has always been rather unique, mainly because it was never originally a hay mow. In fact, this area, back when it was a pig barn, was where the pigs were fed. The food was dumped from up there down into here, and this is where the pigs ate. That's why it's all cinder block walls, and it's made in this weird octagon-like fashion in this area, which meant for stacking hay, of course, it was something that was doable, but it's always better to stack hay in a perfect square over an octagon. You can fit more hay, which is usually what we would do. Once we got above the wall, we would then put out the corner and then stack it straight up. Also, this area is a very high area. The roof was built purposely this way so that there was more room. You notice that the ceiling is a lot higher here than everywhere else. So we wanted to make sure that we used this space wisely. If we're no longer putting hay here, what's gonna go here? The feed room. So Gavin and Leia are playing. You ever wonder what's going on while I'm busy talking to you guys on the camera? Now you know. So of course this may change as we perfect the idea, but the feed room is going to be moved into this area here. So we're going to be putting all the feed containers here, which will make things a lot easier for when we're bringing in grain. We can bring it right into the feed room, makes it a lot easier to load the grain into the bins. But of course, that also means how are you using your space above and how are you using your space on this side? Well, as far as space above, there is potential for us to be able to actually use this height for using the tractor when loading grain in. So the height over here will be capitalized on. As for over here, the steps that we have currently here that run into the barn will no longer be here. They'll actually be back to their original place. I know, it's kind of crazy. We never thought that this area would ever be anything other than a hay barn. We originally, for all my longtime viewers, you'll remember we even considered putting a ceiling over top of Jack's stall so we can stack more small square bales in here. We did not expect round bales and the large square bales to work out as well as they did. So because of that, this has unlocked this whole area for a lot of potential. So the stairs are gonna go here, and right now we're actually considering in this area here, putting something in like a little bit of a break room. Since there's actually no place here at all to sit down, and on the long days where you're working and you're on your feet all day long, usually we end up sitting on the ground, me and Gavin, to take a quick 10-minute break. So having a little picnic area in here where we could eat lunch and also where we can take a quick break would be something greatly appreciated. Not to mention for all of our clients that come here to see their horses, now if they wanted to pack their lunch to be here during the day, they're more than welcome to.
I like the idea.
So you might be wondering,
what's gonna happen to the existing feed room?
well, if you guys will remember, this was originally 2 horse stalls, and that's exactly what it's gonna be. It's going back to being 2 horse stalls. It has always bothered us that we have 2 stalls that honestly we're not using. Now that the barn is at capacity, this has been something that we've been thinking about often. How can we use the stable's square footage best? So this is a project that we're actually getting started on first, and this is the first
Of 6 projects this year.
So guys, I hope you were excited about the news. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer all that we can. And of course, you'll see how things go in future videos.
So make sure you're subscribed. And by the way, did you hit that like button yet?
Of course, for the other 5 projects going on, don't worry guys, it's gonna be a crazy year. All right, Buster. All right, Rocky, come on, guys. Oh-ho, Jolly Ball's making its rounds. In here. Morning, Poncho. There you go, boys. There's potential for rain all day, but nothing crazy. So I'm gonna open up the window so that the donkey's got some fresh air. All right, here we go, Poncho. Go ahead, buddy. And he's gone. There's Tucker. Alrighty, let's let in these beauties. I can tell you guys the grass is definitely growing. It's time to let them in, and they're still just out there grazing. Spitfire, good morning, my man. Morning, Suede. Skywalker, Obi, good to see you too. Morning, Sriracha. Morning, Duke. All right, let's give a yell. Come on, boys! Come on, boys! Let's go! Time to eat! I don't know if I'm gonna zoom in on that clip or not. That was really cool to see. Tucker and Samson galloping up from the hay feeder. That was pretty cool. Good to see you, Weather. Good morning. Good morning, Docs. Good to see you. Ooh, Archer's coming in hot. There comes Argento. All right, and then we've got Declan, Samson, and Tucker. Huh, good deal. They even went in their stalls, guys. Hey, Declan. Hey, Tucker. Nice to see you, my man. All right, now usually we give Tucker free access. In fact, during the day when we're not putting hay out, we honestly just let him go. He'll eat his grain and then he'll come out. This is the field he goes into and he's able to eat. But today, since we're doing manure and we're checking the feeders, putting hay out, that sort of thing, we're gonna have to close Tucker inside his stall. He's okay with it. He knows he's gotta only deal with this once a week. Good boy, Tucker. Well, that was smooth sailing. Good deal. All the horses are in. Let's go ahead and get started on the next phase of the feeding, which of course takes us to manure day and taking out hay. Taking a look at the middle field, I cannot exactly tell if we need to put hay out in it or not. So Gavin's gonna run on down with the quad and see if we need to put hay out or not. Just in case you guys are wondering, I actually never tell him to do this kind of stuff. This is just pure Gavin. He gave me the head nod. Looks like I'm gonna need to put hay out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna help Gavin with manure because my tractor can't fit down the aisleway with these muck buckets here. So instead of having him just do that by himself while I sit around, we'll help him so that that gets done, and then we'll get started on hay. I also wanted to point out that we got some crazy rain. The hill is not in bad condition. The swale did a fantastic job from preventing the water running over the top of it, and all of it went down into and underneath the driveway. But there was such a deluge of rain that landed on the hill that it washed a little bit out down here at the middle. So that is something that I am gonna need to fix at some point as well. Routine maintenance is key. Just in case any of you wanted to say hello to Archer this morning. Archer, how you feeling? That's good to see. It's good to see. Archer is actually a nice sweetheart when he's in the stall. Once he's out of the stall and he's in the pasture, he honestly never wants you to touch him or bother him ever in his life again. But when he's in the stall, he loves you. Right, Archer? Little personality quirk for you. As you guys can see, Champ is making good work of those salt licks that you guys got us. And thank you again. That was very thoughtful of you guys. Come on in, Gavin. Middle field's got hay. We're gonna go ahead and grab that other bale that's in the hay mow and pull it out, put it where we used to park the quad, and the hay mow area is clear. Look at just how saturated the area is out here. Definitely won't be able to spread manure today, just too wet. The hay mow is officially empty, and there's potential for there never to be a bale back in there again. Weird to think. Looks like Gavin's just finishing up with manure as well. Good deal. It's kind of funny to think about, but we've actually never been able to clean this hay mow entirely. Usually there's about 60 bales, which is what we actually have remaining in this area, or right around over here in this area. So we're always able to clean up to the bales, but never the entirety of the mow. Are you guys ready to get turned out? Alrighty guys, it is an absolutely beautiful day, so we're gonna go ahead and let the horses on out. I hope you guys enjoy the sights and sounds of northeastern Pennsylvania. And just like that, all the horses are out where they need to be. We're just gonna open things up for the donkeys. Now they have access to both runs. The original plan for today was, of course, to work on that giant pile of manure, but I honestly think that the ground is just too wet for us to work on it. Maybe this afternoon, but by the time this afternoon rolls around, it's almost time for feeding. So I think we're just gonna pass on working on manure today and work on the other projects that we have, which is cleaning out the hay mow. Just made it back up from the donkeys, and Gavin is already getting started cleaning out the hay mow. So he's gonna be running the fork. Do you want the pitchfork as well?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go get that. And he's also gonna have the leaf blower. Together, we're gonna work as a team on clearing this out.
We're done.
So you can see actually underneath, we've got these, my dad used to work for a billboard company putting up billboards on the side of the roads. Actually, the old advertisements. And that's what you see plastered all around so that we didn't have any mold growing. What we're gonna do is I think we're gonna set this up on a time lapse, see how much we get done in 40 minutes. guys, it is close to lunchtime, so we're gonna be stopping. Here's how things look. He's pretty much got this side cleaned over to here, and we've got a nice big pile. There is dirt and hay everywhere. We're pretty much right in the middle of it. So we're gonna clean off, Gavin and I, before we head into the farm. There we go. What's your thoughts on all this? She's got nothing. Megan wants to see our progress. We haven't gotten far, darling. It just looks like a disaster, honestly. Just wanted to point out that after Gavin's been running the leaf blower for a little over an hour, battery's still at half. Well, lunch just wrapped up. We've got all our PPE back on and we're ready to get started. And there's dust that's getting everywhere. So once we wrap up with clearing out the hay mow, by the way, check out all these old pallets. These pallets are older than me and Gavin.
And he's like 30 years old.
I'm not like 30. I'm 25, for anyone that's curious. I'm 25. All right, so we're gonna get started. These pallets are underneath the hay so that we had airflow, but you know, they're really old, and since they're not gonna be used anymore, we're cleaning them out.
Stop.
Gavin, bare ground. Okay guys, welcome back. We have been hard at work. Here's the stack of pallets. Gavin's coming in with the quad right now. Check it out, this was on the ground. This is dirt. That's all dirt right there. But it looks like it's not dirt. It's crazy. So we're gonna load this wagon up with all this garbage here. Gonna be fun. Gavin, would it be possible for you to back the wagon in here so it's further in the mow? Make it easier for us to get it in the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Nice.
We did it.
Woo. In case any of you are wondering, at this point, the hay that's in here is no longer good for feed value, so it's just going down to the compost pile to be spread on for fertilizer. Woo. Nice job.
Got it. Go ahead, grab it.
Well guys, that's definitely another full load. We just got to get all these pallets here and this tarp here out, clean the whole area off, and then I got to pressure wash cinder block walls down, but that's going to be for another day. We're on schedule though. Should be able to get this whole area clean for today. Well, Gavin, I don't know if you could fit too much more on this wagon.
We're getting all of it.
Oh my word. Do you guys see this? This is what the hay mow looks like now. I mean, we say hay mow, it's not a hay mow anymore. It's a pit. The pit. It's got a lot of cleaning up to do, but all the hay is gone. Just got to get rid of, looks like there's a little bit of stuff over here, some cinder blocks, other stuff here, but for the most part, this is it. How crazy is that? Gavin's gonna continue to put the final touches on this, and I'm gonna get started on afternoon feeding.
We got all of it in there.
Wow, that's a load. And it's gonna be on that awesome note that this is where we're gonna draw an end to the video for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.